discuss a few verses from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. I'm just trying to summarize some of the few verses. I've just selected a few four verses from beginning of chapter 2. So we shall go ahead with that. But before that, we shall offer our prayers to our Guru and then shall have a short kirtan. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. So we shall recite the Ram mantra. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Tadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapata Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganda Lavaratam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Apadan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Danta Vaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Pri Vancha Kalpataruvyasya Vipa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are going to touch a few verses from the beginning of chapter 2, some of the very nice and important verses. So let us begin with sloka number 1 of Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. If anybody has a page open, can see the sloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So, beginning of the first chapter goes like this. Let's say, sloka number 1. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya Uvacha. Tam Tata Karpanya Vashitam Ashru Purna Kuleshansanam. Visitantam idam vakyam vacha madhusudana. So here Sanjaya is one who can envision the whole battlefield, who's sitting next to Dhritarashtra, says, seeing Arjuna full of compassion in his mind, depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana. So Krishna spoke the following words. So this chapter 2, whole Bhagavad Gita actually is spoken by Supreme Personality of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna speaks here after seeing Arjuna, who is in full of compassion in his mind, and who is depressed and who is in full of tears. So the key point we have to try to here is that what we should learn from this verse. So when we actually practice bhakti yoga, we become tuned to hear Krishna internally in his super soul manifestation. So this is what we have to very much understand. When we are going to tune ourselves to practice to bhakti yoga, we have to become tuned to hear more about Krishna, who is internally the super soul manifestation. So we all know that the super soul means is within us. The soul and the super soul reside within one's body. So we should try to understand internally about Sri Krishna and try to hear more what Sri Krishna or the super soul is what is manifesting for us. So despite the darkness around us, so we are all in darkness. Like when we are in trouble, we see no light for us. We see we are in full of darkness. We cannot able to see any glow of hope for us. So at that time, we will spot a ray of light. We will spot a ray of light and get inspired to moving ahead. Like this, we will be taking small steps towards sustainable solutions. So this is what we are going to learn from this verse. So when we are in total darkness around us, we have to spot the light. What is that light? That light, though we are not able to see through our physical eyes, okay, we might be thinking we are in darkness. We may be lost in a forest of so many troubles. We will not see any hope of a ray of hope that will going to take us out from this delusion. So that's when we have to hear to the super soul Krishna. When we hear the super soul Krishna, then we get inspired that we have to move ahead. How? By simply taking simple, small steps, which are actually going to be sustainable solutions. So this is a wonderful message from this sloka. So what we have to hear is we have to understand here is we should not actually see our eyes. Our eyes are full of tears and so blurred. We will not have a proper vision. Still, we can choose to be all ears. That means we have to be all ears. Means we have to start listening to the what is told by Sri Krishna. So that is what is that the message we have to take. So the point to be noted here is how did the Gita guide Arjuna? See, how did Gita guide Arjuna? Arjuna was in turmoil. He was shivering. He didn't have even his strength to hold his bow. He put his bow aside and he kneeled down and he surrendered. He surrendered to Sri Krishna. So that is how he gave his ear. He gave a lending ear to Krishna. And then amidst his tears, he could put his ears, and then how he tried to become clear in his vision. Then after that, he had listened to Sri Krishna very attentively and very clearly. The delusion in his mind actually moved away, just like the passing clouds, just like the passing clouds. All his doubts were cleared. And then he became again geared up. He said, yes, I am going to fight this battle. Because he was not clear about what he was thinking. He was saying that my kith and kin, why should I kill them? My grandshire, Bhishma, why should I take arms against him? He has brought us up. He has given us so much nourishment throughout our life. So why should I take up arms against him? My teacher, my guru, why should I lift my bow against my guru? So these were the doubts in Arjuna's mind. But as soon as he had listened to Sri Krishna Paramatma, giving him the full synopsis, then his mind became clear. It was only one thing that Krishna said, that, oh Krishna, Muda, this is not what you have to do. Already they are all killed. Okay. You are just an instrument acting in my hands. So that's when Arjuna became realized soul. When Arjuna became realized soul, his doubts became clear, and the ray of light from the darkness which was there, a ray of light has hit him, and then he became clear. His tears, everything became clear, and then he could walk ahead. So this is what we are learning from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 1. So almost in all walks of life, in our life also, we are also in darkness. So what we should do? Like Arjuna, we have to listen to our super soul. Super soul is none other than Supreme Lord Krishna. Open your book, open your Bhagavad Gita book, and see what is there for you. What is the golden words which have been given by Sri Krishna. So this is what we have to understand when we are trying to summarize the chapter 2, verse number 1. Yes. Now we shall move on to the next sloka I chose today is to speak about is sloka number 6. Here it says what it says. The sloka number 6. Anybody can turn towards the page also. You can turn towards the page of sloka number 2.06. So you can better follow what is being told by Krishna himself. So, na chitat vidmaya karanat kataran no gariyo yatva jayame yadi va no jayayo yan eva hatva na jijivasmasmas te vastitaha pramukye darashraya. That means the sloka's translation says that nor do we know which is better. Either, so here it refers to Arjuna, nor we don't know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. So, if we are killed by the sons, if we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, should we not care to live? What is the understanding? If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. So Arjuna is saying, if we are going to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, and then why should we live? Why should we ever live? What are we going to gain after that? So yes, they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So here we can understand here that is these are the different opinions. Okay. So what the super soul gives us the understanding is these opinions are like the onions. All of you have seen onion? Yes. Okay. Opinions are like onions. When you know when they need to be sealed and know when they need to be peeled. So these opinions you should know when you have to open these, when you have to peel out these onions, or when they have to be sealed up and kept. So what is the understanding? What is the meaning when you have to be sealed and when you have to be peeled? So just like opinions sometimes needs to be peeled. That means what is that? They need to be sometimes sealed also. Otherwise, the multi-layered nature of these opinions also means we may keep on guessing. Every second we may keep on guessing in our mind. Oh, if this is what is that? If that is what is this? What is going to come next? What is going to come after that? So these opinions will always giving us a different reasons according to our senses manifestation. So our decision also sometimes keeps changing. Oh, let us do this. No. I should not do this. We should do something other. So our mind also starts putting some of the layers start coming up, and the counter opinion that we become unreasonable and become impossible. What is that meaning of unreasonable? Means our reasons are not going to carry any fruit. Okay, this is what happens. So that is why it is said these onions, when they are they need to be transported. Means that maybe they have to be sealed. They are not to be kept open. If you know, when you take these onions, these onion transporters, there'll be lot of order which is coming out. Okay, they'll be transported, a lot of things. So like that, they have to be sealed properly so that the things don't come. Similarly, we need to act wholeheartedly, and we need to seal our opinions as Arjuna did. What did Arjuna do? Arjuna didn't take any of his own opinions. He said, "O Krishna, I am surrendered soul unto you. Know. I know not what I should do. I am totally confused. I have no strength of mind. I don't know anything." This is how we have to seal ourselves. We should not act according to our senses. Our senses are like wild horses. They will take us through anywhere in the forest. Okay. And we will be stranded at times. We will not know what to do, how to do. This is what is going to happen to our when we start following our senses. So here Arjuna chose the correct path. What is the correct path? The correct path is he surrendered to Krishna, and then he said, "Oh Krishna, please guide me. You are my whole and soul. You please tell me what I should do." And then he took a decision. So finally, this was told in Arjuna did opinions of Arjuna came out in the chapter 18, verse number 73. I just got the translation of chapter 18, verse number 73. We should have a few glance. So Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions." So, this is what the clarity which Arjuna had after listening to Krishna, the whole Bhagavad Gita was narrated. And then at the end of the 18th chapter, Arjuna said this. He said, "I am Krishna, or Krishna, the infallible one. Krishna, the infallible." So we should now understand what is fallible and infallible. Infallible means who is never going to perish. Okay. But the fallible ones, we are all the material creations are all fallible. But Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is infallible. That means my illusion is now gone. Arjuna claims, "Yes, my illusion is now gone. I don't have to worry about anything. Now you have made me clear." This is what is the understanding from which we get from the sloka number 2.06, which refers to the 18th chapter, verse number 73. So, how is your opinions? Opinions like our onions. If you peel it or seal it, it's not going to help you out. You have to come out of that. We have to surrender to Supreme Lord Krishna, and then you are going to be clear. This is what is the understanding. So, Bhagavad Gita is not any ordinary book. It is not. The Gita means the song of the Lord. The song of the Lord is okay. Now we shall take a few steps ahead. We shall move to sloka number 2.07. कार्पण्यदोषाप्त स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वं धर्म सम्मूढचेतः यश्रेयस्या निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यास्तेहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. Now here again Arjuna is saying, "Now I am confused about my duty. I have lost all composure because of my miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain which is what is best for me. I am now your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me." So it is very much needed that we have to surrender to someone of our knowledge who can actually guide us throughout the problems of this material ocean. We have to take to our guide. We have to approach him. It is approaching means it is not that whenever we are wanting, we go and tap the door. No, it's not that. We have to actually find out when the correct time is, that when we can approach the person who is free to give us the deliverance for us. We should try to approach and get the free time from our seniors, approach them, ask them, my dear Prabhu, please, I have this question. Please, can you find some time for me? Please help me to understand such and such a thing. So that is how we have to do. And it is our right to go and ask. It is not that we are in delusion and we think, oh, Prabhu might be busy this time. I'll try sometime, and then the time never comes. So we think we are not going to do something right for our justice for ourselves. So the question is that what we're learning from this is that we are not going to prove ourselves what is right and what is empowering. Also, and we are not going to probe ourselves if we are going wrong. As we are probing ourselves, we are going wrong. So here we have to understand, whenever confronted with the unknown, if we strive to check whether we are wrong, we always have to check whether we are wrong. Actually, this learning attitude will not only empower us in that situation, but also help us to learn something new about the structure of reality. See, the structure of reality is very, very vast. Okay. Even though we may think it's a simple problem, but it may land up into a very huge mountain of problems, which we are going through our this. Are we taking the right step? Are we doing our actions perfectly? Is this what we have to do? All these things we have to check ourselves whether we are doing the right thing or the wrong thing. When we are in this notion, that means our learning attitude is going to empower us. So this is what you understand. So indeed, our learning attitude is what Arjuna opted, not what we want to opt. Like how Arjuna opted. When he opted, he said, I am surrendered to Krishna. I am seeking your help. I am seeking your solutions. Please give me your reasoning so that I can take the correct decision. And this was actually explained to us in the verse number 2.7 and 2.6. And then he became empowered by the Gita's timeless wisdom because of his willingness to learn from Sri Krishna. So we too can be empowered if we are trying to seek the wisdom from Gita. So Gita wisdom is very, very wonderful. So we should try to seek the Gita wisdom amidst our confrontation with the unknown. So suppose we have landed in a problem. I guess most of them who have fallen into the problem of ocean of problem. So what is the solution we try to take? When we try to take the solution from Bhagavad Gita, there when we are trying to prove ourselves that we are going in the right direction. So what is wrong and proving what we are right is not the thing. So point to be noted here is, what is the wrong thing and what we are trying to prove right is one thing. And another point is that how does probing whether we are wrong empower us? So always we are thinking always we are right. Yes, I am right. I am perfectly doing my activities. I will not go wrong. There will be something. If anything goes wrong, it's not my mistake. That's what we think, no, most of the time. So we should see how we understand is we should probe into that. We should probe what is that, whether we are going wrong, then we get empowered. Okay. Then is there a situation where you may be better off probing than proving your understandings of the things? So there's any situation where we can probe into rather than proving our understanding of things. So these are the points which we learned from 2.07. And now we shall go to the 2.08. It says that I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on this earth with the sovereignty like the demigods in the heaven. So this is what Arjuna is telling. I can find no means to drive away this grief. I'm in a grief, such a grief that my senses are drying. This is what the confusion still Arjuna is having in his mind, whether I should fight or not, whether I think. Okay. So our humans, regarding this, what we are thinking in our life also, the human spirit also is too big to stay satisfied. We cannot get satisfied in anything we try to achieve. We want more and more, and we get stranded in this material cage. However, this grand cage. What do you mean by however this material cage and however grand this cage is? See, now you are in the body of your grahastha life, or you are in a workman or a manager. These are the cages, okay? And sometimes there are persons who are in a prime minister cage, persons in the president cage, some in the chief minister. I'm just giving examples, like, okay, these are the cages which you have been caught in this material world. So unfortunately, the doors of the material cage open slightly on certain moments only. Like how we have become open from the get a copy of the Bhagavad Gita. Would you like to buy up purchase a copy of Bhagavad Gita? So when they approach you, the ray of light start knocking you. Okay, these are the fortunate of the doors painting. And now when you're coming into this cage of all these very wonderful association of devotees, and you're able to come to the morning sessions, when you are coming to the Bhagavad Gita classes, when you're actually doing some services, okay, then you are trying to come out of the cage. So this is what we have to understand. So now this human spirit, I told you, it is very, very big. We cannot satisfy it. You want a house, you want a big office to be opened, or you want to work in a big company, or you want to do so many things on yourself. You want to do many achievements. You want to get money for your thing. These are all the cages which are set in this material ocean. We get locked in some of the cages, and we are helpless, not knowing how to come off these cages. And however a grand person you are to be, okay. Here also we can take like Arjuna also was caught in a cage. What is that cage? He was thinking in that I am going to kill my guru. I am going to kill my grandchild. He's taking the whole responsibility within himself. When he had to come out of that cage, that is when he had to listen to the Gita wisdom. So the Gita wisdom is what we have to try to understand and try to take some points. So with this, I actually try to stop for today. Maybe if I give the next chance, I will try to cover up some more portions of this Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, which is very, very wonderful. Actually, chapter 2 is one which summarized the Gita summarized, contents of the Gita summarized. So this is what I would like to share. So with this, thank you all for giving me this wonderful opportunity. If you have any realizations from your end, any points to share, you are welcome. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Dandatnam. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Paksharanam Shikhavenam. Vancha Kalpatarobhescha Kripa Sindhubhi Evacha Pattanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Dandatnam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your nice class. We will wait for 1 or 2 minutes if any participants have any questions. Hare Krishna.